it do? What it do? What it do? Live from the screw. What it do? What it do? Big Towns. What it do? Let's get it. 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 What it do, man?
It was good, bro.
It's good. Five with you, big time. Big time. Talk to me. Hey, man, life is good, man. I need to put that camera all the way on you so they can see.
Let's see what we can get real quick.
Okay, I'm right. Let's get to it, though, man. So, we just lost Takeoff recently, man. Lost Amigo, the Black Beatles.
Oh, yo.
How you feel about that shit, man?
Man, I feel like it was a wild situation. I feel like most of that stuff be, wild, unnecessary anyway. I feel like a lot of that killing and stuff we got in our community, it'd be a little over the top. But I know a lot of them, that's just kind of where they come from. But I feel like after a while, like what Lil Baby said, he said, after he made 4 mil, he said it was done. That street stuff was over with because, he got what he needed from it at that point. He don't need to do that no more.
But then it's sad, though. Like, I was watching some old videos of a rapper named C Murder. I don't know if you heard of him.
C Murder. Yeah, I know C Murder.
And I was watching some hood classic shit.
Yeah.
And he was in the trenches of Louisiana. He was in the Magnolia Project, one of the dangerous places in America, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the trenches. This is gang infested, drug infested. You got everything you can name.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about he got 4 hit songs, a gold. He got a song that's platinum. The man probably worth about 2-3 mil net worth. And he was in the middle of the trenches, smack dab in the middle of the trenches, like with guns, smoking weed. And I'm thinking, like, when does a black man leave the hood, though?
I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like that was the environment for so long. That's why I can't even be mad at them for living in their environment if, like, that's all they knew. You would just hope that after a while they start learning better, doing better.
But it's sad, though. He had an apartment in the projects.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm saying poverty is a mindset, though, at this point.
No, you're right. Because even like Project Pat, all Project Pat do now, he be going back and forth to like prisons and stuff, talking to the inmates. Like he started like giving back. You get what I'm saying? He got to that point where he was like even when I hit him up to hop on the track with me, first thing he said was, "Hey man, I'm not doing none of that street stuff no more. We only talking about improving. We only talking about, growing, maturing." And when I heard him say that, I was like, Project Pat on that level now. He getting up to that point where he like, I'm done with all that. So I feel like it happened to everybody. It just take a little time.
Right. It definitely do. But I just look at, you gotta leave that hood shit alone. The street doesn't love nobody. I don't care how much you give back or how much you think is real. You're eventually going to get caught up in that web of traps. You're going to get caught up in the mix. You're going to get back in some street shit. Because when C Murder caught that case, where was his street friends at? Where were they located at?
They doing the same stuff they was doing in the street. They back on it. They out there.
Everybody in the streets I know of either was addicted to drugs, died, paralyzed, wishing they was dead.
Oh yeah.
Or goddamn about to be dead.
Oh yeah.
And why do you feel like in the black community we glorify this? We glamorize this shit.
Cause we were taught to glorify it, man. You gotta remember how slavery impacted us as a whole. The whole world has always been based off of who had the most power. Like we become more civilized now, but back then, if the Greeks had a better military, the Greeks took over. If the Romans had a better military, the Romans took over. If the Persians had a better military, the Persians took over. That's really all it's ever been was, whoever was the strongest. And when we got to America, it became the same concept. You know, they split the Black Panthers. They made it, you know, the Crips and the Bloods, and then, you know, more segments, you know, GDs and all this kind of stuff started separating from that. And then it just got to a point where blacks were fighting blacks for power. It was all about money. It was all about control, domination. It had nothing to do with music anymore. Music just became another hustle for them. You know, a lot of them was looking at it as like, boom, this is just a way for me to make some bread, you know. And that's why I feel like it's a thin line, really, because, you know, you wanna understand, you know, both sides of it. And I know I've never have been in any, you know, street stuff because I never had the need to. You know, I appreciate my folks for that.
But what about the people who are participating in the streets because they feel like it's to fit in and be cool? And you have women saying they want to date bad boys and street niggas and criminals, drug dealers and scammers. And yeah, what's your thoughts on that? People trying to fit in and fit this mold and be like everybody else.
I feel like it's all misunderstandings, for real. I think people look for the wrong things because they've been taught to look for the wrong things. I think it's all like survival when it comes down to it. We live in a society, at least, you know, in my eyes, where women look for survival, I guess you can say. And when they're looking for survival, they're looking for the person that has the highest chance of keeping them alive, I guess you can say. So you can kind of see where in some instances you got these guys that were in the street, but because of their aggressive nature or because of their ability to adapt to situations and survive, they've made themselves appear to have a higher survivability rate. So it's like, to them, that's as negative as we look at it. To them, that's safety, I guess you can say.
But how is it safety when all the street niggas are either dead or in jail?
I agree with you on that. That's why I feel like it's been taught wrong. You know,
because in the black community, I feel like we were taught that men are only men because they can kill us. Because men are taught to be killers, drug dealers, and rappers. That's the only thing that make you successful and get women. That's all we were taught. In the fuck. So because the black men, we gotta know how to fuck. Because the society think black men just are these some sex symbols. They look at us as porn stars. So we gotta fuck killers and murderers and drug dealers. Because that's what all they promote in the movies. Look at all the movies that they're promoting with us lately. They're promoting us to be gay or to be criminals.
Yeah, again, I feel like that was a whole agenda anyway by you know, the government, by society. I feel like everything was kind of set up that way to slow down the black community. Because we were, if you want to be honest, our community was the hardest to break into. Every other community was easier to.
We used to have families.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The president, Lyndon B. Johnson, fucked it up when he said that if you want to have these benefits from the government, you can't have a man in the household. Yeah. So that means when women started getting benefits from the government started being their husbands in the late 60s and 70s. Yeah. That's when the division happened, and that's when black marriages and kids out of wedlock skyrocketed because women was rewarded for being sexually irresponsible.
And it also goes along with the whole like feminism thing too. All that stuff kind of lined up together. Everything kind of went its way. Basically, they took what a woman thought was the need for a man out of the household, because you could be taken care of either by the government or be taken care of by the man without having to deal with the man.
And that's why we got child support. You got men paying child support rates at an astronomical rate, bro. Yeah. I'm talking about skyrocketing rate. Yeah. I think I just seen Kanye West paying $200,000. Bro, I think people are caught up with this word celebrity. If Kanye West was a construction worker, you'd ask him to pay that money, you'd be like, hell no, he can't do that. Yeah. But because he's Kanye West, they feel like he's this celebrity, he should be able to pay that.
I think people misunderstand money a lot too. It's a lot of misunderstandings in the world. It's a lot of stuff that when you growing up, you're not really taught, because the people before you didn't really know it either. I had to understand that too when it came to because I had a lot of personal stuff, you know, mental stuff going on with me, where I was trying to figure out, you know, my identity, what I was gonna do with my life, how everything was going, like, you know, what was my, I guess, purpose. And when it all came down to it, I used to get upset because I would feel like what you were saying, I felt unprepared. I felt like I hadn't really been, you know, taught about how everything works. And then what I started to understand was the people before us weren't taught anything either. A lot of them were just thrown in there, and it was like, good luck. And then same thing happened to us. We just thrown in there, good luck. You know,
but right. But how do you also feel about this part that in the black community, you got a woman right now fucking a killer? He's a well-known killer in the community.
Yeah.
You got beautiful women fucking drug dealers and killers.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's been glamorized. It's just been glamorized. That's what they look up to. That's what they worship, and that's what makes guys that weren't involved in that want to fake like they're a part of that. Because I what's the word? Like you get kids, you know, growing up and they talking about slime this and slap that, and they talking about being in gangs and like, you know, being from hoods and stuff like that. And, you know, they live in a suburban lifestyle. They got two middle income earning parents who got them a car and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, they just live in that kind of lifestyle because they see that that's how you get attention and how you get respected by women and how you make money. Like that's.
But that just shows you how. That just shows you how fucked up the black community is. That they think this is acceptable. Being a man who can control his emotions and wild the fuck out and kill somebody or throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
They think that's manly.
Yeah.
But my thing is this, dude. And the sad part about it is that's why everybody quit to pick up with them, because they think they're supposed to be perfect because of social media.
Yeah.
They think everybody's perfect. Nobody lost a fight. Nobody have a bad haircut day or bad breath day. Everybody balling and stunting and wearing goddamn fancy clothes every day. That's what social media got people thinking.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
And I'm like, damn, bro. Everybody living this perfect lifestyle. Bullshit. Why depression and mental health at an all-time high?
Yep. And then the fact that we live in this free market capitalist society, it help it because we've gotten to a point where capitalism is just like any other past economic system. It was organized as a way to improve on the past economic systems that we've had. But what they didn't realize was like what you was just saying, where everybody's already like misinformed and like mislearning stuff. Then when you throw them in a situation where all of your success is based on what you're able to provide to society, it's difficult to provide something. So a lot of them choose, like what you were saying, the drugs and violence or nowadays, you know, promiscuous or sexual behavior. Like they choose stuff like that to make money because it's a daunting task to find something fulfilling to make money off of.
But everybody's trying to find this cheap way. They're trying to find this quick route, this money. Everybody talking about this bag.
Yeah,
and I'm asking women all the time.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's what it is.
And I'm like, what is the bag? Because the bag don't last forever. And everybody wants this quick and fast, this quick scheme money, this get rich quick scheme. Everybody want this fast money route. Like, they want the quick bag, this fast money. Like, everybody supposed to get all this shit come to you fast. Everybody supposed to be balling this stuff. Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's, again, people been misled. That's all it is. We've been misled. We've been sent down the wrong path in life, because even now, like you was just saying, we spend so much time trying to chase money that we don't really do anything fulfilling with our lives.
Right.
You know, your whole life, and for a lot of people, you got a lot of these people, you know, a lot of these influencers and IG models and like rappers and stuff like that come up, and, you know, most of them broke. They get online, they flexing with their designer shoes and they designer hats and book bags and stuff.
It don't mean shit after you buy it.
They broke. They ain't got no money. Like it's different ways that people live in life out here. And it's one thing I made clear that I was gonna do, with no matter what I decided to do with my life, was I was gonna make sure that I was truthful with myself first. Cause I feel like a lot of people miss out on that. They're so afraid to accept themselves that they kind of portray who they think they should be to the world instead of portraying who they really are.
I agree with that. And the sad part about it is, why do you think? I feel like a lot of people want money, but they want it in the easiest way. They don't want to work. They don't want to sweat. They want shit give it to them. And they feel like with social media, they're supposed to have this microwavable shit. They're supposed to get it right then and there.
Yeah.
They think they start a YouTube channel or something. They're supposed to have 100,000 followers the next day. They're trying to go viral. Everybody want this microwavable bullshit, but nobody's putting in the work.
Yeah. I think that just came from social media, because most of the time, like you know RDC World, right?
I think I heard of him.
RDC World, they was doing like the skits with like LeBron in the locker room, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they had a channel for about 2 years, I think, before they blew up. They say it took them 2 years to get to like 30,000 subscribers. And then after that 2 years is when they finally hit 100K, 200K, 300K. Then they hit 1 million. But it took them 2 years to get the first 30,000. It wasn't no real money coming in. They was just hustling with it, putting out videos, like promoting it. And I think people forget how important the work is.
Yeah, it's working.
Because when you work for something, it make you understand it a little bit more.
You appreciate a whole lot more better somebody give it to you.
Bruh, like one thing I can say, like with me losing as much weight as I lost, bruh, if I would have went and did something like get a surgery for it, I would have lost 200 pounds with a surgery, and then I probably would have gained it all back within that next year. Because I wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't have had the discipline. I wouldn't have changed my thought process on food and like exercise. Same thing like we was talking about with like a YouTube channel. You don't get to 1 million subscribers out of nowhere. It take some months. You know, it take you putting in the work, and what starts happening is you start putting in those, like people say that, you know, put in 10,000 hours to perfect the craft or whatever. When you start putting in them hours, those hours start to mean something later on. You know, you start editing videos faster. You start, you know, commenting back to people faster. You start promoting better because you done got used to it. You know, everything starts improving because you've been doing it for so long. And it seemed like it just took a while for you to blow up, when in reality you were just getting better and better until you got to a point where you.
But you got to enjoy the journey. I realize a lot of people compare themselves amongst each other.
Yeah.
And they feel like because it took them 2 years and I'm only at 2K for one, it took me 2 years to get to 1K, maybe I should stop. Or they feel like, you know, it ain't for them because they're comparing themselves to somebody else and they're not seeing the success and the results is quite as fast.
Yeah. And it's, again, people don't understand that. It's a hard thing to get over. Because I'm dealing with some of that stuff right now. Even me, like I look at other artists that I respect and I'm like, man, like I wish I was at that level. But I don't know how long it took you to get there.
And you don't know, and it ain't for everybody. Like, say if I don't blow up with YouTube, maybe it just went for me. Maybe if I would have got on drugs or got with the wrong woman or something, or maybe it just went for you. And if something just ain't for you, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. And
you can live.
At that point, though, as long as you know that you put in the work that you needed to put in,
facts.
It's a lot easier to accept that. Hey, I worked for it. It just wasn't me.
Right. Like, say if you don't make it in rap, I hope you do. I hope we both make it. But say if you don't, at least I want you to live with the results and saying I put in the time. The game just didn't love me back.
And
but that's not. But people think everything an L. I don't take L's as losses. I take them as something lessons learned.
It's a lesson, yeah, for sure.
It's a lesson.
For this,
it just went for you, and maybe say if you don't make it as a rapper, maybe you can mentor somebody else who trying to become a rapper.
Yeah, or even further, even further than that, it's so much more to life than like just being
entertainment,
successful, or like you saying, or like being entertainment. Like I've been learning over the years, it's not all about the numbers. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the followers. It's not all about. That's why I don't be on social media like that. Like I really only post stuff, you know, if I just feel like posting or if I want to promote something music wise, because at one point I got caught up with the social media, that microwave society. I got caught up with it too. I feel like most people do because it's so easy to
Everybody I got caught up with it before.
Yep.
I've did it before. Only reason I be on social media, bro, is promote this YouTube to keep up and do my video. Bro, I hate this shit. This shit is terrible, bro.
It's awful, bro. I'm telling you, I get it. It's awful. Cause you spend your whole day looking at
somebody else's life.
Small pieces of other people's lives. That's all.
Just a snapshot of somebody's life. You don't even know these people, bro. They just tell you what they present to the world, bro. They don't tell you the whole pie. They give you a half pie.
They make it look better than it is, because people look at people like, you know, these rappers and politicians and celebrities and you know, actors and movie stars. They look at these people and they hold them to such a high level, like, man, I bet their life is crazy. Their life not that crazy. They go to sleep at night, they wake up in the morning, and then they just go do whatever that is as their job. You might go and work at, you know, Amazon or work at Walmart for your job. They might go do some radio interviews and do a show. It's not much of a difference concept-wise in terms of, like, you know, we're both just working to make money at something, but it just seems so much better because they've glamorized it that way.
And that's really, and if it was sold out there, being a celebrity, we're going to talk about this too. We're going to talk about this word celebrity too right here. But if their life was so damn perfect, why they kind of keep trying to convince people that they happy?
Oh, no, most people that succeed aren't happy. Most people that succeed in entertainment, they went to entertainment because they lacked attention in life. I've been learning that. A whole lot, because I had to tell a friend of mine who been like helping me with this music stuff. Like, I had to tell him a few months ago. He was like, why you know, not going as hard as you could be right now? I said, because I'm working through some stuff right now. Because I had to make sure that my reasoning for doing this was because I actually wanted to do it and not because I wanted attention. And I learned that probably a good bit of it was because I wanted attention at first. But then when I realized that, I kind of grew from it at that point. But I feel like a lot of people didn't grow from it, because I feel like that's kind of the thing with Kanye right now. Kanye kind of gets a high off of attention, you know, and of course I feel like he does have a few mental health, you know, things that he's dealing with. Same thing with most people, but I feel like a lot of people get a high off of that attention. They like being talked about. They like people knowing about them. They like people worried about them or concerned about what they got going on.
And let me ask you this question though. A lot of people say Kanye West is crazy. I don't believe he's crazy. He's a billionaire. He's a black billionaire at that. The man, you know, snatched the microphone away from a white person, Taylor Swift. Ain't none of these street niggas never did no shit like that. I just think that the fact that he's tired of the paparazzi in his face, and I think he is somewhat addicted to attention, because fame is a drug. And let's be real about this shit too, right here, fam. Besides Kanye West's answers from the media, Kanye West is an artist first, right?
Yeah.
He's a designer. He's a billionaire because of his shoes.
Yeah.
But he's an artist to the public. He's an artist. He's an artist. We know him as an artist first. Besides his music or his shoes, what kind of good music has he dropped recently? What has he dropped recently that made you say, damn, that's some fire shit? Besides the shoes and the antics from the media, what music has Kanye West dropped that was fire recently?